Alright, welcome back everyone. If you are joining us after drawing your cat, feel free to use this drawing. But you can use any drawing with this crayon technique. Anything from the Art for Kids Hub YouTube page would be great. Any just creative drawing that you come up with in your own mind would be great to use this crayon trick. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about blending colors together and how you can blend different colors together. It's easiest if they are kind of next to each other on a rainbow, but they don't have to be. So for the purpose of blending crayons, I'm going to be coloring in my kitty kind of rainbow. But again, this trick will work if you want to do some more regular blending colors. I will save the tail and I will do some regular kitty colors to show you that. But to get started, I'm going to start easy first, and I'm going to start with my colors of the rainbow. So I have my yellow crayon, I have my orange crayon, and I have my red crayon. Those of you who remember from class, that half of your rainbow are your warm colors. And the second half of my rainbow is I have my green, I have my blue, and I have my purple. These colors, this half of your rainbow, are your cool colors. Just a little bit of an extra art tip in there. You don't really need to know that for this lesson. Always good to bring up. So what we are going to do is we are going to start with our rainbow colors. And you're going to arrange your colors in your rainbow order. So first you have your red, then you have your orange, then you have your yellow, then you have your green, then your blue, and last in your rainbow is going to be your purple. This will make the ombre blending technique we're going to talk about a lot easier, and then you can start doing it with different colors once it makes some more sense. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start right here underneath. I'm going to start underneath my kitty's collar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color in a little bit of this section, and I'm going to push down kind of hard because blending crayons works so much better when you are pushing down hard. Now sometimes when you push down hard, your crayons are going to break, and as an artist that's okay, that happens. So you can still use them when they're shorter, but again, take your time. That will help it not break the slower that you go. So when I'm coloring my section, I like to color a little bit, not a lot of it, a little bit extra for what I am looking to keep red, because you are going to be coloring on top of with the next color to kind of get an in-between color, and that's kind of how you're going to blend. So again, take up my next color. So after red is orange, and underneath the red, I'm going to color in nice and dark, really hard pushing down, some orange. Now, to start the blending technique, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that orange and I'm going to color on the top a little bit into that other section. And you can see, if you look close enough, that you're starting to change that red that you're coloring on top of into more of an orangey red. And again, you can extend this regular orange down a bit too while you're doing that if you decide you want a bit more orange. Then the line between the red and the orange is still a little bit like it's a big jump. So go back in with that other color, so that for us it's red. And you go right on top a little bit of that orange and push down not so hard, just a little bit. And you can put some more red into that. And you can start to blend that out a bit more. All right, so next we're going to go in with our yellow. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to push down nice and hard, and you're going to color in this section nice and dark. And again, you take that yellow, you're going to go on top of that orange a little bit. You don't want to do all of it because you don't want to change all of the color, but you do want to start blending it a little bit. So color a little bit on top of the orange section, then go back in with that orange and go a bit on top of that yellow section. And when you're going on top, you don't have to push down super hard, and you'll start to put some color back into that. Alright, our next color is green, and I'm going to do the same thing that I've been doing. I'm going to color in the next section of this, pushing down nice and hard. I'm going to color in some green all the way across. And just like I did before, I'm going to bring some of that green up into that yellow. Now, yellow is not a very strong color, so make sure that you're not doing it too much into the yellow, or your yellow is going to disappear, because again, it's a very, very light color. Then take that yellow and color right back into the green, really getting some of that lime color to show up. There it goes. You can really blend it. Alrighty. After our green comes our blue. So I'm going to pop some blue onto this part of the leg. And I'm going to pop some blue onto this side of the leg. Just like we did before, I'm going to take some of that blue and I'm going to do it on top of the green. And I'm going to do it on top of the green on this side as well. Okay, then go back in with that green and bring the green now into that blue section a bit more. And bring it into this blue section a little bit more as well. Nice job. Alrighty. So the last color in our rainbow is the purple. So you're going to bring your purple in. You're going to bring it down and pushing nice and hard. Again, going slow so that doesn't break on you. Again, if it does break, it will still work. But I know you don't want to break your crayon, so that's a good tip. Just go slow. Okay, so after that section is all colored in, just like we did before, you take that purple and you bring it back up into the blue section a bit. And you bring this section back up into the blue section. Then grab that previous color, that blue, and you are going to bring it down and into that purple. And again, down and into that purple. Alrighty, now the cool thing about rainbows is, yes, red starts it and it goes all the way down into purple, but the cool thing is that it repeats itself. So when if I wanted to blend this purple back into this red, it's going to work very easy the same way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that by coloring the last tip here, down here, the paws, red. And then I'm going to go right back in to the red a little bit. I'm going to kind of create that red violet. And then over here, same thing up in here. Color a little bit back into that purple. Then take your purple and you're going to bring it back down into that pawpaw down here. And into this pawpaw over here. And then you kind of have done a nice ombre blend with your crayons. Again, highly, highly suggest starting with rainbow because those colors are next to each other in the rainbow, which means that they like to blend with each other anyway. But if you want to mix things a little bit differently, other colors will blend the same way. It just might be a little bit harder. So, and you might get brown sometimes depending on your choices. Some grades we've talked about the colors that make brown, those complementary colors. So you might get brown just while you're drawing with these. If you don't want brown, a great way to never get brown though is to stick in your rainbow order. So I'm going to do some random color mixings on these legs to show you the next little bit. If you're happy with what I'm showing you, feel free to stop the video and just continue with that rainbow. But for those of you who are interested in seeing kind of the other things you can do with this, I'm going to show you some other color combinations. So, say over here, I wanted to color the top half of this leg blue. Again, I'm pushing down nice and hard. What I would go into next, let's say I picked a yellow, and what's going to happen is some color mixing is going to happen. So those of you know that if you mix your yellow with your blue, you are going to get a green. And you can see this by you color in a little bit on top of the blue. And again, the harder you push, the better this blending works. And then you take your blue again and go back into that yellow. And now again, you don't have to be as hard when you're going into yellow because yellow is such a light color. So there you go. That's how you blend that portion of the leg. Now I'm going to show you more of a brownie choice over here. One way that you get a little bit more of a brown color is if you are mixing a blue and an orange. A good way for you guys to remember that is the Islanders colors, which is super helpful when you're trying to remember colors that make brown. So again, I'm going to color the top half over here with my blue.